Loudly in defense of justice. Even Malaysia was shocked to remember that only Indonesia had dared to withdraw from the UN for the sake of national dignity and principles.
Let's look at their population. How many people does Malaysia have? Indonesia has 200 million. Malaysia has about 30 million. Among the fewest in ASEAN. Therefore, we shouldn't be too quick to show off our power. That's why we should be kind. Sometimes we...
Sebentar. Ini kalau saya lihat ya, ini sosok Presiden Prabowo ni berani ya. Dia satu-satunya yang di mana berdiri membela yang lemah di hadapan negara-negara yang menguasai ekonomi dunia. Apalagi Amerika, yang kita tahu mereka sangat anti sama Muslim.
Talk about strengths, but in certain aspects, we also have weaknesses, especially in relation to Malaysia. Incidentally, we call the article Crush Malaysia a confrontation. Maybe you can compare the differences in how Malaysia and Indonesia handled the conflict. Confrontation of the Indonesian conflict. Now, the Indonesian conflict was launched by Indonesia under Sukarno. He went to launch that confrontation. So from there we see that Indonesia is different because it is strong, it has a large population, it can make things based on ideology. So what does it matter if we listen back to what he says? Why does he have the courage to confront each other if necessary? What does he mean by one-on-one? Indonesia confirms a win of 30 million, Indonesia 200 million. There was a
smaller
Guys, ini bukti ya bahawa suara Indonesia ditakuti oleh Zionis dan sekutunya. Ini gara-gara pidato Prabowo tu bisa membangunkan dunia lainnya ataupun menyadarkan apa yang berlaku saat ini.
At that time, right? Ah, yes. Let's say that if 30 million people from Indonesia were all killed, there would only be 170 million left. That's why he dared to do something that was not practical, ideological. He wants to fight Malaysia. He wants to crush Malaysia. We can see what the difference is between the actions of a large country and a small country like Malaysia. Malaysia can. After that, Malaysia only depended on Britain, British assistance, Commonwealth assistance, and also diplomacy. After that, when the foreign minister, Tun Razak, went to all over the country, he seemed to want to project power. He explained that Malaysia was actually bullied like Ukraine today, leaving the country. Finally,
ini isu ganyang Malaysia ni memang dari dulu ya dijadikan puncak pergaduhan. Tapi ternyata kalau kita lihat ada kesalahan daripada negara seberang juga ya.
He was victorious. So many countries condemned Indonesia at the UN. Did Indonesia leave the UN? Indonesia is the only country that actually left the UN. How brave, how heroic Indonesia was under Sukarno. When it left the UN, it was dissatisfied, so it cursed me. I left because of this confrontation. Even today, Russia doesn't leave the UN. Russia doesn't dare. Indonesia is brave. How great Indonesia was at that time because it had a very strong ideology. But after Sukarno was overthrown, Suharto was more practical because the economy was already very bad. From Sukarno, it didn't matter, he was ideological. What do I want to fight for? All that until the economy was very bad. Finally, Suharto came to power and Malaysia and Indonesia reconciled.
Ini maksudnya dulu sejarahnya Suharto yang membuatkan Malaysia dan Indonesia berbaik ya, begitu ya. Tidak sangka ya. Standing ovation
The time has
Prabowo.
come. This is why. True to the historic commitment of my country to the Middle East, to peace between the Israelis and the Palestinians. This is why I declare that today France recognizes the state of Palestine.
Ya, ucapan PBB.
Distinguished Excellencies.
Ini guys, ini ada subtitlenya ya. Siapa yang tidak mengerti boleh baca subtitle yang disediakan di video yang saya reaksi.
And the leading states of the world that have taken this principle.
Tapi jujurlah ya,
France, Canada,
Indonesia
Australia,
akan
the United
berada di garis depan jika ada namanya negara asing yang ingin berperang sama Indonesia, dan mereka berani ya, saya akui ya.
Kingdom, Portugal, and many other leading countries of the world have taken a step on the right side of history. The recognition of the state of Palestine is the right step on the right side of history. To those who have yet to act, we say history does not stand still. We must recognize Palestine now. We must stop the humanitarian catastrophe in Gaza.
Betul?
Ending the war must be our utmost priority. We must overcome hatred, fear, and suspicion.
Guys, kalau kita tengok ya, ini dunia bergerak seakan-akan mengikuti Indonesia. Contohnya tren-tren yang sekarang ini yang viral-viral ya. Terus di sini Indonesia, Presiden Prabowo berani ke hadapan menyatakan ataupun memberikan solusi-solusi dengan adanya kekejaman di negara saudara, dan Presiden Indonesia yang berani ya ke depan ya mewakili Asia ataupun negara-negara muslim lain yang untuk mendukung Gaza untuk diselamatkan.
We must achieve the peace that is necessary for the human family. We are ready to take our part in this journey towards peace. We are willing to provide peacekeeping forces.
Ini ideologi yang banyak orang setuju ya. Dan tidak ada yang seberani begini guys. Aduh. Dan jangan pernah dikontra orang lain. Itu prinsipnya Indonesia ya. Dari dulu sampai sekarang.
With heavy hearts, we recall the ongoing and unbearable tragedy in Gaza. Thousands of innocent lives, many of whom are women and children, have fallen victim. Famine and a humanitarian catastrophe are unfolding before our eyes. We condemn all forms of violence against innocent civilians. Therefore, today, with dignity, we gather to assume our historical responsibility. This responsibility concerns not only the fate of Palestine, but also the future of Israel and the credibility of the United Nations itself. We condemn all violence against civilians. Therefore,
ini mengecam sekeras-kerasnya ya kekerasan terhadap Gaza.
Indonesia once again reaffirms its commitment to a two-state solution to the Palestinian issue. Only with this two-state solution can peace be achieved. We must guarantee statehood for Palestine. However, Indonesia also states that once Israel recognizes Palestinian independence and sovereignty, Indonesia will immediately recognize the state of Israel and support all guarantees for Israel's security.